Hi everyone, welcome to episode 15 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kaliesha and you can find me anywhere online as Nadira Tani. I am coming to you today as always, almost always, from my home in Central Florida. Today is Thursday, July 13th, and I'm feeling really excited right now. Maybe it's because it's been a couple weeks since I actually recorded a video, and I have a whole lot of cool things over there in a fun basket that I want to share with you guys. I hope you can hear me over my chorus of woodland and wilderness. That's what that was. My chorus of Wilderland bugs that are happening in this lovely Florida evening. I was jokingly calling this episode 15, aka Kaliesha Races the Sun, because if you've seen a couple of my past episodes, you know that I like to come and film in the backyard right before sunset, and halfway through my episode, you can't see me anymore. Yeah, so I'm going to try to get through as much of this as possible before I have to relocate in the house, either because the sun has set or the mosquitoes have attacked. If you are a new viewer, thank you so much for dropping by. Let me know down below what brought you here, or like where did you find me? How did you hear about my Craftcast? I just want to know these things. If you are a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate it. I feel like I have like more internet friends now, and that makes me happy on the inside, because in real life, I'm a little bit awkward. A lot of bit. Anywho. So we will start out, as usual, with my finished projects. Well, I have a very, very close to being finished project. Let me show it to you. And two of my projects are living in this. This is one of my Quirky Monday Crafts project bags. I have the black 3x1 rib socks, man socks, aka the most boring socks in the world. Okay, so you see all these stitch markers. This is because a couple days ago I was knitting on the second sock here, and I kept looking at them saying these are not the same length. If you follow me on Instagram, you saw my super sad picture that I took of these socks, when after putting all of these in, because I kept losing count when counting the rows, I discovered they looked like this the other day. I don't understand. They're the same length now. Maybe it's because this one was tried on. I can't with these socks anymore. I'm so done. But this sock is the second sock, and it ended up being 10 rows too short. I don't know how. I'm like an obsessive row counter. Like, side note, I was watching Joy of the Anxious Knitter podcast. Side note, I was watching Joy of the Anxious Knitter podcast. And she was talking about, this was a couple episodes ago, she was talking about how she stopped counting the rows and she was only like measuring inches. That thought like stressed me out, because I was like, what if you don't stretch it the same? But anywho, I sound like I've had all the coffee today. I haven't. I did have a smoothie though. Natural sugars? Whatever. Anywho, second sock was 10 rows too short, and I had gotten all the way down to the end. Like, I was about to cut the yarn and Kitchener the toe. And something said, Kaliesha, don't you cut that yarn. You better go. You better count all those rows again, because you're about to make a poor choice. And I listened to that voice. Which, that's why all of these. So anywho, I ripped the toe back. I knit my 10 extra rows on the foot. I put the toe back in. I knew that I was running out of yarn, so I went down a needle size. This is, do I have the band? Probably not, because that'd be too much like right. Nope. This is Deborah Norville Baby. I think. If that's wrong, I'll put it at the bottom of the screen. But I believe it's Deborah Norville Baby. It's like a DK weight acrylic yarn, and I knit these socks on 2.75 millimeter needles. And when I got down to the toe, I went down to a 2.5 millimeter to try to like conserve some yarn because I thought I could make it. But as you can see, the yarn chicken won. So I have to crack into a second ball of this yarn for 2 rows. I have 2 rows left in this toe. These socks have been the bane of my existence since I cast them on, and as soon as I finish this, I'm going to finish these socks. I'm going to take all my stitch markers out, I'm going to put them in a box, and I'm going to give them to the recipient this coming Sabbath so that they're out of my life. Yeah, nothing really special to tell about these socks. They are German twisted cast on, 15 rows of 2x2 ribbing. I did the leg in 3x1 rib. It's got a heel flap and gusset because I was super nervous that it wouldn't fit. Then it's got the foot in 3x1 rib and a rounded toe. And those guys are the most boring socks in the world. You're not going to catch me knitting or crocheting with black yarn for quite some time. Kaliesha's not going to make it with the sun. You see the colors changing? The colors changing, guys. Anyway, so those are my mostly finished object. Oh, this pair of needles right here, my 2.5 millimeters, were given to me by Kira of the, my brain just stopped, Knitting Annihilator podcast. Hey, love. I hope you're doing well. But yeah, she gave me these in a swap that we had, which I thought was hilarious because I totally sent her a set of knitting needles too. Great minds, right? So yeah. These socks are the worst. Like, look at that. I promise they have the same like number of rows. What? Anyway, so let's follow up that tale of woe with another tale of woe. So last episode I was talking about how I was getting all, inspired to do some crochet designing, which I did, and I started working on a shawl based on the constellation Orion. Now, I had worked, it's got filet crochet in it, some texture stitches, it will have some bobbles, and I think that's everything that I'm including in the pattern. But I had worked like the whole filet crochet, like this whole filet crochet section, and like, excuse me, like I was moving along with my design process. So we were dog sitting this crazy puppy over the last couple days, and I came home from work one day and I see this trailing down the hall. And at the end of the trail was this. That dog frogged my whole project. I don't know if you've ever had a pet or an animal accidentally frog your project and like leave a trail of sadness through the entire house. That's what this dog did to me. He wasn't even ashamed. So this has really discouraged me because I feel like I'm back to the drawing board now. Even though I have like the idea in my head, it was a lot better when I had it like concrete. So I have to restart that. So there you go, guys. 2 tales of woe at the beginning of the Craftcast. Sing for me, Wilderland bugs. Sing for my sadness. All right. I think I got a mosquito bite. We need to speed this up. My next, well, we're going to talk about works in progress now. At the time I wrote my notes, I only had one actual work in progress. That was a couple days ago. Now I have two. I think I only have two works in progress now. But I will show you the one that is a hoe. And if you don't know the lingo, that is a hat object. I didn't show you the whole design of these because I think it was a whole last episode, but I didn't show you the whole design because I was like, oh, you know, I want it to be a surprise, but I can't keep a secret, guys. I can't. I'm physically incapable of keeping a secret. So I'm designing a sock pattern, and I've knit a whole sock from my pattern, and these are going to be called the Camp Hawthorne socks. And here it is. Can you see? It features a, of course, German twisted cast on with your ribbing, your leg, heel flap and gusset, which I'm trying to get myself to love because they're so comfy, and then foot and a rounded toe. But this is the design that I have put in it. It is a mock cable, which is super easy and really like rewarding to do. Yeah. It is called the mock cable eyelet rib, and I got it from one of the stitch dictionaries that I have. But the sock has two running down the front sides. Why am I doing that? Let me show you like this. This is how it looks from the front, and this is the leg of the second sock. I am to the heel flap. So yesterday at work, I actually sat and I wrote up the whole pattern all the way through the gusset decreases. So starting at the heel flap, I'm going to follow the pattern to see how well it works, to make sure that I actually make sense in what I'm writing. And then I think I'm going to see if anybody wants to test knit this. I feel like so like a real knitter. So yeah, those are the Camp Hawthorne socks, and I'm super proud of them. I love them so much. This one I knit on 60 stitches. This one is on 64. I do like the fit of the 64 stitch sock, but I will, I think I'm going to keep the 60, in the pattern I'm going to have the 60 and the 64. So yeah, that is my first work in progress. The second is one that I started yesterday. Yesterday was a rough day. I'm just gonna leave it at that. No, not yesterday. Tuesday. I don't know. One of these days, this week, it's just been a blur of rough days. But I cast on these socks. Let me show you both of them. Here's one, and here's the other. Now, I did cast them on as two at a time, but today I realized two at a time is not really my jam. I just feel so wonky knitting it. I mean, I understand that, yeah, it's great. You want the socks to end, or like to be exactly the same. You want to be done with the socks when you bind off the ribbing, you're done with the whole pair. But I think I'm just gonna knit these concurrently on their own needles because I feel like I go faster that way. Anywho, these are knit from the toes, which you can see there. Oh, I just love that color so much. That is a mini that I dyed. One day I was having like spontaneous dye party, and I broke up some balls of white sock yarn, like commercial sock yarn, into minis, 20-gram minis, and I dyed them. And this one came out really beautiful. It's got, you know, oranges and yellows, a little bit of red, But that I'm going to use that for the, I have used that for the toes, and it's also going to be the cuffs. And then the rest of the sock is this yarn. And this is Viroqua Socks. There you go. Viroqua Socks. And I actually got this from a pop-up giveaway that Mars of the Brownberry Chronicles had in conjunction with her Make Whips Not Waste Make Along. I think it was Make Whips Not Waste. Yes. And yeah, so I won a surprise giveaway, and I got this yarn and some other little goodies that were really lovely. So because I've been having a rough week, I did want to cast on something that was really bright and really cheerful, and these are just bringing me so much joy. So there's that. So this is basically a whole color repeat. It's going back into the light blue, so I don't know how wide the light blue is going to be, but that's basically the color run. And then that one. So I am knitting them both from the same ball, and this is me making poor choices. Just marinate on this foolishness. I decided to knit one from the outside and one from the inside, and this type of ball does not really like that. So aside from splitting it up because 2 at a time isn't my thing, the yarn management was really frustrating. So that's it for my other work in progress. So I will put these away. And that's everything for works in progress. What do I want to talk about next? I'll talk about spinning, and then I have some stashquisitions, and then I have a little bit of life stuff because Lamar and I took a trip a couple weeks ago, last week, I don't remember. It was a couple weeks ago. It was 4th of July weekend. We took a trip to Alabama, but spinning. This is now been designated as my spinning bag. Also an early Quirky Monday bag. But inside here, I have my fiber, which I showed you last episode. But I also have dun, 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 my finished fiber for the Spin for All 2017 and the Spindle Along. And the dogs celebrate. They don't care about me. So yeah, I spun and plied this yarn. Most of it is from the mystery fiber from the Dreamcatcher that I thrifted a ways back. Somehow I thought that I had finished all that fiber and that this is all there was, but no. I have quite a bit of this fiber left, and I have no idea what I'm going to do with it. I need to find somebody with a drum carder in the Central Florida area so that I can just like card all of this fiber into bats and then like go from there. How do you find somebody with a drum carder? Is that Googleable? Somebody help me. Anywho, so I finished this plying Monday, and I am totally stealing Joy of the Anxious Knitter podcast idea. When she finished her yarn, or her first spin, she said that she was going to put it in a shadow box. I can't remember if she was going to knit a swatch and then put the swatch in a shadow box, or if she was going to put just the skein or the hank in a shadow box. Don't know. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to knit a swatch out of this, and I'm going to frame it. And I've already pulled a frame. Here we go. So this frame is a square, duh. But I got this from an estate sale that I randomly found when I was driving home from work. And I am going to take the little ducky out and knit a swatch out of this. And the picture that I have in my head is like the swatch being, you know, like right there in the middle, and then having like a black mat right around it, I think that would look amazing. Or even just putting a black mat and then affixing somehow the swatch to it so that it has that texture. I'm not going to put the glass back in it because I think that will be really cool. And then I can hang that, you know, when we have our forever home, I can hang that on my craft room wall because I will have a craft room. Yes. So that's the plan for this. And guys, I think that's going to be the last part of this podcast that is filmed outdoors. I made it 20 minutes. So, not bad. So, the next time you see me and a couple shakes of a lamb's tail, I don't know what's happening to me, guys. I don't know. Where were we? We had just finished talking about my spinning plan. So I'm going to show that to you again. I don't know how you could see it. It was getting a little grainy. But this is going to be knit into a swatch and then put in there, most likely with a black background. I like it. So my next spin is going to be my green Euphoric Fibers fiber. Yeah. Which is merino, nylon, and bamboo. And I got from, what was that shop called? Yarnworks? I think it was Yarnworks in Gainesville, Florida. So yeah, this is going to be next. I'm excited and really nervous because you know how like sometimes when you get a really nice thing and you don't want to use a really nice thing because you're scared you're going to ruin the really nice thing. That's kind of how I feel right now. So I'm just going to have to unbraid it and pull it apart and just dive in. No testing the waters. Just dive on in. So that's going to be the next thing. Since I'm done with that mystery fiber, when I get into this is going to be my sith and spin fiber. I need to get on that or I'm going to miss the entire spin along. Get it together, Kaliesha. Get it together. We shall talk now about stashquisitions. You know how like some people, when they're feeling down or, you know, emotional or whatever like that, they eat? I buy craft supplies. So I'm not going to show you all the things, but a couple days ago I was in Hobby Lobby and they clearanced out all of their Red Heart, Heart and Soul yarn. So if you have a Hobby Lobby near you, check them out for some good price sock yarn. They're 50-gram balls and they had them clearanced to, I want to say it was $2.99. Oh, put that back in. So pretty good. Yeah, so I have that. The next things that I'm going to show you are kind of the souvenir yarn that I got from me and Lamar's trip that we took over 4th of July weekend. I wanted to go to this yarn shop back in Huntsville, which is where we went. This yarn shop in Huntsville that I used to go to when I lived there. And, but they were closed like the whole time we were there. Next time. But I was able to, or we were able to stop at a couple places where I found some yarn on the way there. So as you're driving from Florida to Alabama, you go through Georgia and there is a $3 bookstore, sale books, something like that. And Lamar loves stopping there and looking for books. So he was like, yeah, we got to stop at the $3 bookstore. And so I was like, okay. So as we were like going to the bookstore, I'm like on my phone Googling yarn shops near me. And one popped up. Actually, two popped up. And when I was looking at their like ratings and comments and stuff like that, only one of them was active. So I was like, okay, well, we'll check that one out. And so after we left the bookstore, we navigated to this shop. And this shop was called the Naked Sheep Yarn Shop. So freaking adorable. Let me show you their, or Naked Sheep Yarns, that's what it's called. Look, look at him. His little naked sheep. Oh, poor little sheepy. But yeah, so we went there, and when we pulled up and saw the shopping center that it was in, we were both like, this place is made for us. If we live nearby, this will be our hangout, because there was the yarn shop, and then right next door, there was a donut shop. And Lamar is quite the donut aficionado. So he was like, oh yeah, donuts. And I was like, oh yeah, yarn. And so he came in the yarn store with me. He's such a good sport. He came in the yarn store with me. He was in there for probably 3 minutes and then was like, I'm gonna go get some donuts. So he went over in the donut shop. I was in the yarn shop. Everybody was happy. I met some really cool people. There was this one girl there, I forget her name off the top of my head, but she was doing double knitting, which I've never seen in real life, and I was just blown away. It was beautiful. So I might look into trying that. I don't know. We'll see. But I did come away with 2 balls of yarn. I got this. This is Knit 1 Crochet 2 tie-dye socks, skinny stripes. I like that a lot. And then I also got this. This is Mimi yarn, or Mimi Lotus yarns. And it is 100% mink. I don't know how mink fiber works, but the reason that I got this is because a while ago I bought another skein of the same yarn from Tuesday Morning, and it's actually a blend. It's like mink and cashmere and like nylon or something like that. So when I saw this, I was like, ooh, that's a beautiful contrast color. So I have this gray, and the other one is like a dark burgundy. So I'm going to put them together. I don't know what they're going to be, but it's super soft, so I know it's not going to be socks, because that would almost be a sin to put on my feet. So maybe I could do like, I don't know, some kind of small shawlette or something that goes up here, because minks are really soft. But yeah, so this was in her sale bin. It was like only $5, so. Oops. So that was my purchases, or these are my purchases from the Naked Sheep Yarn Shop. And oh, I wanted to tell you the city that it was in, because this city is so fun to say. So this shop is in Hahira, Georgia. And yes, it was adorable. It's a really small shop, but really, really adorable. And the next time we're traveling through Hahira, we'll definitely have to make sure that we stop there. Actually, I forgot. I did get one more thing from the shop. One of the things that I like trying to do whenever I go to a local yarn shop is to see if they have anything made by a local maker. And one of the shop owners actually makes stitch markers. So I picked up these. Yeah. So they're gold beads. It's a set of 6, I believe. And yeah. Ooh, look at my nails. I promise it's not a French tip. So yeah, I got those. I love them. They're so pretty and sparkly. So that's all I got from Naked Sheep Yarns in Hahira, Georgia. You have to say that with that twang. You can't not use a twang when you say Hahira. You should try it. So then we went on to Alabama, spent our time there, and then on the way home, we stopped at Unclaimed Baggage. Now, Unclaimed Baggage is a wonderland of a store where basically whenever people travel and lose their luggage and then leave it unclaimed, it is resold at this store. So, like, we're walking around looking at the clothes, whoop the whoop, wop the wop, and I stumbled into some yarn. I found this one. This is Superba Caramba. Yes, Caramba. 4-ply superwash. It is 75% wool, 25% polyamide. It's a basic color. Kind of looks like the star toe socks that I did recently, but I'm kind of wondering if this is going to stripe. I think it might. We'll find out sooner or later. This is going to be really low down in my list of things to knit because the colors are a little bit boring and I'm really wanting bright right now. So maybe in the fall. And this was $2.50. Like, and it's a full ball. Yeah, $2.50. Then I got this one, which is a 50-gram ball. What is it? It is Rowan Felted Tweed. It is merino wool and alpaca. Let me see if I can find the peeling the tag off. Where are the percentages? 50% wool, 25% alpaca, and 25% viscose. And it's in this awesome denim blue. No idea what I'm going to do with this, but I love it. It's so cool. And this was $3.30. So those are my things I picked up from Unclaimed Baggage. And those are all of my purchases from our trip. I do have one other purchase which I'm super excited about because I ordered it after we got home and it came today. I'm gonna do my first unbagging. Yay! I need scissors. I have my teeny tiny little scissors. And this is a sock set that I got from BJs Leash on Etsy. I will link her shop down below. But I have been looking at this particular yarn in her shop for don't know how long, and I favorited it, and I would like, oh, it's so beautiful, go back and look at it and just ooh and ah over it. And the other day I was like, you know what, Kaliesha, you made it through work today. Buy that yarn. And I bought it. And I'm so excited that it is sitting on my lap right now. So, oh my gosh. So yes, her shop is BJs Leash. It's BJs Leash Hand Knits. Can you see that? I'll put all of this in the down bar. Yes, the description bar. But, oh, she sent me some red hibiscus or hibiscus red tea. Oh, it's rooibos. I love rooibos tea. Anyway, ooh. Is this a stitch marker? Oh, it is. This is so stinking cute. Let me take it out of here so you can see it. I got a stitch marker. And it is a wee little cassette tape. Isn't that the cutest thing ever? Oh my gosh. Where did she even find those? I love it. And what I have been waiting for. Oh no, the skein is coming apart. Oh no! Panic at the Disco. It's so bright. Look at it. Oh my word. This is like even brighter in real life than it was on the listing. Like this yellow is just, actually I think it's glowing more in the video than it is in actuality, but it's still pretty bright. And guys, this is two of my favorite colors. So what I think I'm going to do, because these are two of my favorite colors, I think I'm going to knit socks from this with green heels, toes, and cuffs. And then they will be all of my favorite colors. And I will just have this yellow mini skein to love on. My precious. So this is the Summer Squash Demi Set. It is in the DJ Prime base, 75% superwash merino wool, 25% nylon. The demi is 100 grams, 463 yards. The mini is 20 grams, 92 yards. And yeah, I'm so excited. Look at that, guys. Look at it. So yeah, this is only my second indie dyed yarn that I've ever purchased, I think. And I might be falling down a rabbit hole. I'm like petting it like it's like a baby. It's my yarn baby. Anyway, so now I have so many balls of sock yarn right now. It is shameful. I'm sure it should be shameful. But it just gives me so much happiness, like to have all these options. Like, what do I want to make now? So yeah. Yay! So that is it for my yarny stashquisitions. I had another, I did buy some yarn today, but really I bought it to go with this yarn. This, what I got from the Knit Picks mystery box that I bought a few months ago. This is the Chroma Twist Bulky, and it's 100 grams, 127 yards, superwash wool and nylon, 70-30 mix. And I really want to make something out of this because it's so much fun. Like, look at those colors. It's called Carnival. So I wanted to make something out of this, but I was like, this is not enough yarn to really make a thing. Provided I'm not sure what I want to make, but I went to Joann's today and I found they had some sales and they had some clearance. So these two were on clearance for I think $3 each. So I got these. Now they're acrylic, I believe. Yeah? Yeah, 100% acrylic. And then this was, it was a pack of 2 that was on sale for $3. So I got these to go with this, I believe. Or, you know, I can mix it around. I can do that maybe. I don't know. But what can I do that is mostly these solids with accents of this Carnival? Please leave suggestions down below because I want to make something with this. Like, I don't want it to just sit in my stash. Give me any ideas at all. So yeah, that's those. And that is everything yarny that I have purchased recently. Yeah. So basically what that means is that my little hands are going to be quite busy. I'm going to be knitting all the things, crocheting all the things, spinning all the things. Like, I'm just going to immerse myself in whatever creative inclination comes my way because I need it mentally. So the next couple things that I'm going to talk about, I'm going to talk a little bit about my Etsy shop, Quirky Monday Crafts, and there's going to be just some general chit chat in there. So I decided that I was going to have a space themed update in my shop. My shop is, like I said, Quirky Monday Crafts on Etsy, and I sell zipper bags. Zipper bags, zipper pouches, project bags, however you want to call them. That is what they are. And I was quite the busy bee, and I'm going to show you the bags that are left. The update was this past Monday, July 10th. I'm so proud of myself for finishing the bags, getting them listed, like getting them live, although publishing all of the listings did give me quite the headache because Etsy wasn't having me. So I ended up having to put everything live one at a time, which was ridiculous. Anyway, so these are the bags that have not sold. I have sold quite a few, which, thank you. If you are one of the lovely people who purchased from me, you made my day. I was cheesing like a loon. And yeah, so if you see anything that you like from what is remaining, all of these are listed. There's also bags from my very first update when I opened the shop. So there are non-space related bags in the shop as well. So I have 3 sizes: small, medium, large. These are the small bags that I have. We have this one, which I am calling Cosmos. Yes, this is the Cosmos fabric. You have Orbits, Purple Planets, Glow. This one actually glows in the dark, which I'm kind of upset that I didn't buy more of this fabric, because wouldn't this make like a super awesome like shirt or dress? Not a dress, because that'd be a bit much. I could probably get away with this as a dress, but it glows in the dark, which is super cool. And this one I'm calling Universal. So that's all of the small bags that are left. Then we have the medium bags, which these are the size that I use whenever I have just like a sock project or a small project. I will keep it in a medium bag. So these are box bottoms, and they're interfaced. So if you want to roll them down, like if you have a project in there, you want to knit or whatever, knit or crochet, you can roll it down and it sits up. So it makes its own yarn bowl. And the medium and large bags all have a handle, a ribbon handle. So you have Purple Planets, Glow, Cosmos, Moon Phases, which, oh, I love this one so much. I had to go out and buy more of this fabric just because I loved having it. I'm a little bit of a hoarder. Constellation, and then there's more on the back. Astronomy. You want another fun Kaliesha fact? That is my favorite constellation, and that is my favorite star. That star is Arcturus. So yeah, this is Astronomy. And then to the large bags. This is the size of the large bag. This is a large bag in orbit. Retro planets. Glow. Universal. And astronomy. So because I stuck with the same fabrics throughout the collection, there are quite a few that have matching sets. For instance, you have a matching set of purple planets. You have a matching set of cosmos. You have a matching set of glow. Glow has all three sizes. Oop, running out of space. I didn't even mean that to be a joke. You have a matching set of orbit, which is right here. Whoop. Matching set of orbit. Oh my goodness! I don't know how I never saw this before. I am so stinking easily amused. So yeah, you have a matching set of orbit. Oh my word. How do you guys deal with me? Matching set of universal. And last but not least, a matching set of astronomy. There you go. So yeah, if you are interested in purchasing any of those bags, feel free to either message me or you can purchase them straight from my Etsy shop. All of these are live right now. Take a look at the shop. If you are interested in a custom order, I am definitely open to those. If there's like a fabric that you like and you want to change the color of the bottom, we can definitely work something out. If you want the whole bag to be the pattern, your wish is almost my command, you know, depending on, of course, the stock of the fabric. But yeah, I had so much fun creating these bags and just seeing them all finished and listed on my shop. It was just so rewarding. Like, yay! Oh, the large and medium bags have white linings, just to make it easy to find things inside. I made the mistake of lining one of my early bags with a dark fabric, and you can't see nothing in there. And then the small bags have pops of color on the inside. So, of course, all of that is photographed on my Etsy shop, so you can see what the inside looks like of the small bags, so you know what colors that they have in them. But yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say about the bags. Go buy a bag. Take a little bit of Quirky Monday home with you. That's about it, guys. Um, the last little thing I guess I want to talk about, it's just a little bit of life stuff. The reason that Lamar and I went to Alabama was because my best friend got married, and he got married on July 2nd. Yes, July 2nd. So we went down for the wedding. I was in it. I wore a very tight dress. All of the bridesmaids were standing up there like, I almost fell walking down the aisle because I tripped over my skirt. But luckily, I had already put my hand on the groomsman's arm that I was walking with, so I did not fall. So whenever they get their pictures back from us walking in, guarantee my smile is this big because I was laughing. I'm such a dork. What can you do? So yeah, we went up for the wedding. It was lovely. To be honest, I was really anxious at the beginning, like the beginning of the day, because it was going to be a whole day of, all the bridesmaids being together and doing stuff. And I didn't really know the bride because, I was like a friend of the groom. So I was really anxious that I would feel awkward and that I would do that whole like introverting thing. But actually was able to really participate. I ended up doing a whole lot of crafting. Like the bride had this idea that she wanted to have for her shoes, or for the bridesmaid shoes. So I ended up making 10 pair of bejeweled sandals the morning of the wedding. By the time I finished, I felt like the wedding DIY gangster, like for serious though. Let's see. The wedding venue, the ceremony space was really nice. The reception hall was really nice. It was in the mountains, and the view was gorgeous. But I was so far in like bridesmaid, make sure things go well for my best friend's wedding brain, I did not take one picture of the view. Who is this person? Anyway, I had a face full of makeup, and it was the most makeup I've ever worn in my life. Not joking. I did not wear that much makeup on my own wedding day. So that was interesting. But yeah, so we had a good time. Lamar and I had a really good time being back in Huntsville. Like we went on a mini tour of Huntsville, of like all the places that were significant to us in our relationship. And that was pretty awesome. We went back to the school that he was working at, or rather the school that we were both working at when we met each other. Drove past our old apartments. Just a bunch of significant places. And that was a lot of fun to drive through, in a sense, like drive through our past, I'm so glad that he and I have the ability to do that and enjoy doing things like that. I'm so glad that we have so much fun together. But we're not going to get mushy. We had a good time in Huntsville. Then when we came back, I did not want to go back to work at all. I'm pretty sure that when, like the day that I got back, I was like, all right, when is my next day off? That's not how you should be at work. But I was able to take pictures of the Oakwood Shawl on Oakwood campus. Lamar was my photographer extraordinaire, and there's a bunch of really awesome pictures. So one day when I get my act together and I put that project page together, I will put all of those pictures, not all of them, I'll put quite a few of those pictures up, so that people can see the shawl at my school, because I'm proud of my school. I think that's it, guys. The last thing that I do want to mention, because I said last episode that I was going to have my poem assignment that Chanel gave me finished when I filmed this episode, the poem's not done. It's still rolling around in my head. I'm supposed to be writing a poem using the words unraveled, undone, and unwound. Not necessarily in those tenses. And I think, like, I have an idea of where I want the poem to go. I've actually started writing this poem like twice. But it's still cooking. It's still cooking. So I haven't forgotten about it. It's happening. But this one's happening a little bit slower. So yeah, as always, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for hanging out with me. Leave a comment down below of something that brought you joy this week. Let's share some positivity in the comments. Also, if you want to leave me a poem assignment, either write a poem about this topic, write a poem using these words, or write this type of poem, leave those in the down bar too. Or in the comments rather. I'll be happy to add those to my list of Kaliesha gets it together and gets back into poetry. Yeah. That's episode 15, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, do all those things that you would do if you like what I'm doing. Okay, bye.